7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hey guys, guess what? Y'all back broadcasting live from a secret location on Mars, everybody. It's your boy Blastoff, man, with my host, my ace boom coon. Y'all already know the deal. Do we even need an introduction at this point? Do you need an introduction at this point, dog?
No introduction needed.
You know,
though our guest does need an introduction. We have a visitor from Venus here.
Y'all see it. Y'all see it. It's a special time. Very special time.
We told you it was coming.
Told you it's coming, and it's going to keep coming. But we got the lovely Miss A.K.A. Choose Joy, A.K.A. Miss LaJoy Jules, shining bright like a diamond, y'all. Welcome to the show, mama.
Right,
welcome
like
to the long.
Hey, what's up? What's
I'm
up?
so excited.
Welcome. We're honored to have you. Honored.
Let's go.
It's a long time coming, man. Busy woman, man. She does a lot. She's involved in a lot. Author and I don't have to do it. She can tell you what she does. She's an author and poet and a actor. You know, she does it all, man. She's blessed by the best. You know. Yeah. We thank you for coming on.
Most definitely. Thank you.
We thank you for coming on, man. So you know, tell us a little bit. Introduce us to the people that don't know you. You know, let them know who you are and what you do, and you know what all you got going on at the current moment.
Okay, well, once again, thanks for the invite. I'm so excited to be here tonight. So just a little bit about myself. One of the biggest things I love to tell people, it doesn't matter what I do. It matters if I make an impact. But I am, as far as titles go, I am an author, an actress, full-time motivational speaker, and a life and energy healing coach. I have a brand by the name of Choose Joy.
Come on with it, yeah.
Yes, we definitely have to choose joy, right? It's a choice daily.
Choose joy. That's
and
right.
I like to say that my brand just basically empowers people in a holistic way to choose joy, to choose them, choose their destiny, and do the work that's needed so that they can maximize their potential while they're here.
I love it. Absolutely love it.
Right on.
Stuff like that, extremely important, especially in this year, 2024. A lot of chaos, a lot of divisiveness and everything going on. So it's very important that we have people like you in this world to help give us a guiding light.
Very important.
Most
very
definitely.
important.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you're not originally from Houston, Texas, are you?
No, I'm not a Houstonian. I'm a native of Beaumont, Texas, just right up the street.
Right up the street.
But much smaller. Everybody knows everyone. I've lived all over. Lived in Florida, lived in LA. I've lived in New York, Baltimore, DC. So, you know, I've been quite a few places, but I am a native of little old Beaumont, Texas.
So are you into traveling? Do you travel a lot?
I love traveling. I love traveling. I feel like traveling heals. It opens our minds to, you know, things outside of our normal boxes. And it just teaches you that there's a world outside of your everyday life.
Absolutely.
So it gives you access to, you know, other people's lives, and it helps you to see the world in a different way.
Right on.
Very important. And I think as we get deeper into the podcast, we'll ask you to kind of call upon some of those experiences that you've had as you've traveled to this whole myriad of places. You know, stuff like that is very invaluable, and we really appreciate you coming.
Yeah, no problem.
So, I mean, as you know, get into all of these things, the question is, how did you become who you are today? How did you get into, what led you to the path that you are on? You know, to be an actress and author and you know, poet and excuse me, you know, all those motivational speaker.
Pain, trials, tribulations. Sure. But on the other side of that, just standing on the shoulders of people that seen the best in me. Yeah. So a lot of mentors, you know, I had a lot of great women that came alongside of me and pushed me into greatness.
Right on.
So community, you know, mentorship, and just getting to a place where I wanted something different than what I felt like the world was trying to tell me that I was going to be.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, the world will put limitations on it. They will try to hold you back. You know, in this world, we talk about this all the time. You are ultimately responsible no matter what you go through.
Exactly.
You know, because it can be. I said this in another episode. You know, troubles and problems
Come.
are like weights on your back.
Yeah.
But you still got to keep pushing forward to get to
Yes.
where you got to get to.
Yeah.
Because if
Yes.
you don't, you letting yourself down, and there may be other people that are depending on you that won't get the help that they need because you are giving up.
Correct.
So at the end of the day, you know, I like that the whole premise of who you are and the name, no matter what pain you've been through, what you've been through, you choose joy. And that's
Every
a
day.
wonderful segment.
Yeah.
And I got to say, you know, y'all know I'm acting well behaved today because I'd have been cursed out. I got manners though, you know what I'm saying? I got manners for the young
No.
lady on the show and whatnot. But y'all know I cuss up a storm and just talk out really. But we still gonna keep it solid and real in
Yes,
here and talk
raw,
about
authentic.
what it is. That's why we here on the Real Talk podcast. This is what this about. But again, we are very blessed and honored to have you on here, and you know, I'm just excited, man. And
Me too.
One thing I would say is that I was looking at your book, Standing Still. You wrote Still Standing, and you have a co-author in the book. So you have your own segment in the book that you're
Correct.
responsible for, you know, authoring, and you
Right.
put your 2 cents into the book. And how long did it take you to get to that? Was it hard writing this book? Was it hard, you know, coming up with the whole summary scenario, you know, or what parts of, was it just parts of your life, or what is this that you put in there?
So it wasn't hard. I would say the biggest thing is that because I've been through so much, it was kind of difficult finding, okay, what do I put in this book, and what is it time for me to release certain things? That was the biggest thing, because it's always time and purpose in every season, right?
Right.
So the biggest thing for me was going to God and saying, like, hey, what do you want me to release for this project?
Absolutely.
Because I am a co-author and there are other women's stories that are in there. So I wanted to make sure that I matched the vision for the visionary. And so that was the biggest thing for me. But the book was an awesome project. It took us a year to finish. And I do believe that whoever and whatever woman gets that book is going to be a reminder to them to just stand. You know, you might fall, but get back up, you know, and continue to stand. I think that we give the enemy a lot of power when we let life like knock us down and we don't get back up. We have 1,000 excuses for why we can just lay down.
Right on.
But you got to stand, and it's just what it is. Stand up, you fall, get back up again.
That's
You
real talk.
co-authored that book with Cynthia Bailey, right?
Yes.
Yeah, from is that basketball?
Atlanta Housewives.
Atlanta Housewives. I'm sorry.
Yes,
Yeah,
but she's known for her modeling. She's
Okay.
a beautiful person.
beautiful person. That's what I
spirit.
want to ask you. How is
Yeah.
she? She's a nice.
Very beautiful spirit. I mean, just very like down to earth. It was like talking to an auntie, you know.
Right on,
and just
right
being
on.
able to hear, you know, things that she's been through, because a lot of times you see people with the makeup on, you know, they're on camera, that you think that they have glorious lifestyles, but you don't know what's going on
Yeah.
when people
Oh,
get off that
yeah.
camera, you
Oh,
know.
yeah,
And so
yeah,
to hear her
yeah.
story and to hear where she is now, you know, kind of backing away from certain things in the industry and just finding purpose within herself as a woman.
Yeah.
It was a great experience.
Now, Joy, in writing this book, did you, and maybe you can also speak a little bit for Cynthia, did you guys find that to be kind of like a pressure taken off of you, like releasing a burden? Was expressing yourself in writing that way, was that very like therapeutic in a way for you?
Well, for me as a writer, I can definitely say anytime you put your pain on paper, I do believe that you are releasing that pain.
Yeah.
You know, and so I enjoy writing because it helps me to be able to release. And I feel that when you put it on paper and you let it go, it kind of helps you to continue to walk into the newness of where you're headed.
Yeah. Big time. We really
Yeah.
appreciate that. So we have a whole bunch of questions we're going to ask you. We're not going to like stick to them strictly, but
Okay.
there are a few key ones that I really did want to touch upon. And so let me just jump into one of them, which is just like, how did you get into the entertainment business? What prompted you to go there?
So since a kid, I've always wanted to be an actress. I've always been that kid that got in trouble for talking. Was always the person that was getting up and speaking for my class, you know. So as a kid, I loved acting, but then of course, you know, you you finish school and they tell you to go to college, get a degree. And I followed that route. But what I began to find as a young adult was that I wasn't happy in a 9-to-5 corporate, America type of setting.
Me neither.
So I prayed about it and I was like, you know what? I'm going to go after my dreams. I gave it to God. I asked God to lead me to the right people and the right resources. And I was scrolling through Instagram, and I don't know if you guys are familiar with her. Her name is Josie Thacker. She's real big in the entertainment industry. She danced for Michael Jackson,
really?
Janet Jackson, Mary J. Blige. She was on Martin, but she's my acting coach.
Okay.
Wow.
I auditioned to
Nice.
be in her classes because she only takes, certain amount of people. We've been rocking and rolling for about the last 4 years.
Okay.
And she has pushed me past what I expected.
Wow.
Thought I was going to take some acting classes, and she made me go deep. So that's how I kind of, got into the entertainment industry.
This ties into what you were saying before about how life is really hard. It is really tough. But there are people out there who can help you. They can support you. You can be on
Most
some.
definitely.
There are shoulders that you can lean on
Right.
to help you. And I think that's a very key thing for people to remember
right.
nowadays is, life is hard, but don't despair. There are other people going through the struggle with you. And there are people who've gone through the struggle before you who can kind of guide you, mentor you, give you a little bit of wisdom on that journey that you call life.
I mean, okay, so one thing I want to ask you is how many films so far have you? How many films have you participated in? Is it countless now since you've been this far? How long? First of all, how long have you been acting?
So I actually I did a lot of my work was originally like stage plays, and on stage performances. But then when COVID came, I was living in like the Baltimore area, and we were actually
nice.
getting ready for a Broadway production, and it's
Broadway?
Yeah.
Wow.
So it shut everything down, and I decided that I was going to start doing on camera and commercials, and so I'm on my 4th commercial, and I'm on my 5th film.
So, and you say we were talking earlier, and you mentioned we were talking about these different producers and productions, and
Right.
you were running it down to me. Can you tell us again? Because I was caught off when you were saying about Tyler Perry having. He can shoot a film in a week? You said
Tyler Perry can shoot a film in a day.
in a day.
Yeah.
Wow.
He's been known to shoot a film in a day and get it out. He doesn't play. Where some people take, months or a year to shoot a film, he has it down to where he can shoot a film.
Absolutely.
He just continues to go and I mean, he's putting them out there. So
And you mentioned, because I asked you, I say, well, have you ever worked with him? And you were saying like you were on the way.
I was on
In a production thing, and COVID hit.
Yes. So my acting agent at the time actually got me an audition. They were auditioning for the TV show Sisters. And
Sisters.
Yeah.
So did that ever come out?
yeah, it's
Okay.
actually out now.
Okay.
And so I had an audition, and literally like the week before the audition, COVID was declared a national.
Tyler, come on, man. Come
I
on, bro.
know.
Look here, man. Hey, we got another one down here. Come out here in
Yeah.
Houston and get you some talent.
But
come
it's
on,
gonna
man.
come back full circle.
Yeah, it's gonna come back.
It's
But
coming back
hey,
full
you
circle.
owe
I
her. You
believe
owe,
it.
give her an audition, man. You owe her one,
Yeah.
man. COVID knocked us a lot of us down, man. But yeah, so what would you say your genre? Because I seen I checked out. We actually put it in a real introduction reel, putting you on the show. When you was kind of kicking somebody's ass in there. You know what I'm saying?
Ultimate Invasion.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a throwback movie. Was that one of your first ones, or what
That was
was
one of
that?
my first ones.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. So, what is your genre of choice? If you had to say, what do you excel at more? How horror? Have you done any horror, romance, comedy?
So a lot of people say that I'm funny, but I
Okay.
like to think that I'm deep. I prefer drama, but I get more reactions from comedy for some reason. However, as a Black actress, I don't like to choose a genre because in the industry, they box us into roles that they feel that we're supposed to play.
Typecasting.
So when people ask me that, I'm like, I'm open to whatever until I'm able to get to a point where I can say, no, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do this. But right now, while I'm growing, it's like, if I'm in a sci-fi, I'm going to be in a sci-fi. As long as it's not something that makes me compromise my morals and my values.
Yeah, absolutely,
Very
absolutely.
important.
Yeah.
Very,
So
very
you ain't
important.
joining the Illuminati.
No. No.
You ain't
I'm not selling myself.
Yeah. Hey, you ain't giving you ain't sacrificing nobody to get to the top. Okay, good. Yeah, but
So how do you feel other people can learn from you and your experiences in the industry? What are some advices that you could give to people, going in, being cautious or being optimistic, or, what do you think about that?
So I say pray about everything. And I mean, I don't want to sound righteous when I say that, but whatever your method of seeking the source is, go about that in everything that you do. It keeps you grounded. For me, I use discernment in everything. Not every opportunity is an opportunity for you. I think some people, they chase the fame and the money, and they're not doing it for the passion. This is something that I put, my tears, my pain, my past into. That's how I'm able to constantly heal and evolve. So I think that just knowing what your why is. Why are you doing what you're doing?
Why?
Because you might get some opportunities that you're not making, $30,000, $40,000 from. So just keeping a humble mindset, working hard, you have to put the work into it.
Yep.
And just remembering that I carry myself every day as if I'm already the person that I look up to, which is Viola Davis. I carry myself like a Viola Davis.
You like Viola, huh?
Oh, I love her.
Yeah.
I feel like, she can play any role.
amazing.
That's the one from
You better know Viola.
wait, hold up. Wait. Something about the murder.
Yeah.
How to get away with
How to
murder.
get away with murder.
Yes.
Yeah, I know Viola.
Yes,
Yeah,
but I carry myself to that level, because I feel like you're always representing yourself as, an artist, whether you sing, dance, write, actor, or actress. So just keeping that in mind, stay connected to the source, stay positive, keep working at it. Every no that you get, you're eventually going to get a yes.
Yeah.
And in the industry, you get a
Yes,
lot
absolutely,
of no's.
Absolutely. People are scared of rejection. People
Yeah.
are scared to, hey, one door closed, you keep knocking. Just keep on knocking.
And create opportunities for yourself. Nowadays we have social media where you can create whatever type of, person that you want to be when it comes to being in the industry. So if you're a singer, get on social media and sing.
Let your talent shine.
Yeah, let your talent
it's
shine.
It's a big world, and
Yeah.
these social media
platforms are out
platforms
there.
do give you the exposure that
These platforms
you
are
didn't
out
have
there.
20 years ago.
At all.
You had to be singing in the juke joint and drawing in, crowds or recording
Yeah.
audio or whatever back in the day. You know how it was.
But I would imagine it is kind of like, it could be kind of difficult because, you always go in, you might get yes, you probably get a no or whatever. But then when something like COVID comes and it takes away big opportunities, isn't that a little demoralizing? Don't you feel like, how do you navigate stuff like that? Like when something that just completely out of the blue comes in and takes away a big opportunity for you.
So I think that for me, I struggled with it almost to the point where I feel like I let depression sink in for a while. COVID it done a number, especially for me. I lost a sibling and a parent during COVID. And then major opportunities that I had for my acting, for speaking. I was supposed to travel outside of the country during the time of COVID for a big conference for speakers. And all of those opportunities were taken from me. But I think that one of the things that I've had to realize lately is that was a setback for a major comeback. So I know that during COVID, okay, I lost these opportunities. I lost people that were close to me, but I learned so much during that season too about rest, about mental health, about just being able to be with self. I think a lot of times we have all these goals to keep ourselves busy, right? So COVID made me look at self. Are you ready to be a big star? Are you ready for the big opportunities that are coming? It's your character development. Things that we normally don't have time to sit around and think about. I had those times to think about, which has kind of helped me come up with a routine for like self-care.
Sure.
So
Yeah, we touched on a lot of stuff, especially stuff that I'd written about as questions. And I'm really glad because we didn't even have to ask you those questions. You really answered them yourself. Let me ask you this, though. What does your ideal career path kind of look like for you?
First of all, not to have a 9-to-5, okay?
Yeah.
Because I feel like without a 9-to-5, then you can have ultimate freedom.
Yeah.
So for me, it's being able to be one of the number one life coaches in the world. I really want to help transform communities and people's lives. I want to see people living their true, authentic selves. Of course, I want the big roles. I want to be able to write and produce as well. And once again, traveling is my number one love. So for me, I want to be able to host therapeutic travel retreats for people.
Nice.
So we get together, we go to, an island somewhere where it's beautiful water, and we block out the world and we heal.
I want to talk about that a little bit. Tap on you because I love to travel as well.
Mm-hmm.
Where have you traveled? Do you travel domestically, internationally?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So what are some of your places you've been? Have you been, and what do you think about it? What's your favorite place?
I think my favorite place would be Costa Rica.
Nice. I've
It was
heard
so
of that. I want to
refreshing.
get
Never
there.
been.
I want to get there.
No.
I'm a
wanna get
monkey
there.
person, so just being in the jungle with the
Nice.
monkeys, being able to pet them. But I've been, of course, Cabo, Cancun, the
Yeah.
different parts of Mexico because we're right here. Canada, I've been to Jamaica, Honduras. So
Nice.
just different
Yes.
places like that. But Costa Rica was definitely my favorite.
They got black people all over Honduras and all of that.
All over.
Yeah.
Deep, rich, dark skin.
Yeah.
All over.
Yeah.
We stay with it.
Man, you know what? And I try to tell my kids, hey, look, man, it's a big world. Don't be having kids early.
Yeah.
Don't be, going to jail, fucking up, all of that. All you gotta do is travel. It's a big world. Your destiny might be somewhere else. A lot of times when these people be taking their kids to travel and stuff like that, that's early on at a young age. Because a lot of us, and let's be honest, in the black community, we don't have the resources, or us. A lot of us didn't grow up, in my generation, didn't grow up with the resources of where your mom with 2 or 3 kids, 4 kids, single
Right.
mom or whatever can take you and travel and show you other things to
But
where your
now-
mind open up to where you want to desire that and go get that.
Parents nowadays have the resources, but I also feel like it's about what's important. Because if you can spend $500-$600 to $1,000 on a birthday party, you could take your
prom.
child on a trip.
They doing these proms like
like
weddings.
It's a wedding. Yeah.
Like a
Them
wedding.
the
Sweet
the
16.
Latino, the Mexicans, they do quinceañeras. I was talking to one of the day. Them quinceañeras, they spend $15,000 to $20,000 on
Yeah.
quinceañeras.
Yeah.
For real?
Bruh, yes, sir. They don't pay for the weddings. They say, I remember, so I was like, man, we don't go hard on the weddings. But the quinceañeras, them becoming in the womanhood, they'll spend that money. Y'all put in the comments if I'm wrong. Y'all let me know how they go. But I know for sure that we tend to go all out at a young age.
Yeah.
And
I don't believe in buying kids gifts. My thing is give your child travel. Take your child to see things. Let them taste, different foods. Expand them to different cultures, different languages.
Absolutely.
Because those are the kids that you see that go off and, they
make them
become out-
worldly.
Yeah.
Worldly.
Most
Not
definitely.
locally.
And the
worldly.
thing is, I remember every trip that my parents took me on.
See?
I don't remember
A gift.
half. I don't remember 90% of the gifts that they gave me. All love and respect to them. Thank you very much. But the stuff that stuck with me were the experiences.
The experiences, right. You
The
remember where
food.
you went.
Yeah.
Seattle was my first time I ever flew that I remember flying to Seattle, Washington. Loved it there. I'll never forget that trip. I'll never forget the foods I ate. I'll never forget how the streets looked. I'll never forget the sights and places that we went.
Yeah,
I can't remember. I can't remember what I got for my birthday that year.
Yeah, Seattle's one of the nicest cities to
Yeah,
live
Seattle
in.
is beautiful.
Yeah, I've
It
never
really
been.
is.
I've
It
heard
rains.
it's nice.
It rains a lot, but yeah, it's beautiful.
The mountains are beautiful.
Mountains
Oh.
are beautiful,
Yeah.
But
lush, beautiful land.
just going back, these kids, a lot of this stuff that they spend money on, like you were mentioning, these proms and stuff like that, when they going out renting Rolls Royces and they getting the Louis Vuitton tuxes or whatever they got nowadays. I don't know. I ain't had one, so I don't know. But tell me this: do you think that all of this would have been as extreme as it is now, like without social media? Because I think a lot of people got to do it for social media. You
It's
got to
the
establish.
validation that comes with social media. We have such a driven world now that everybody needs to be validated
Right
on
on.
social
Yeah,
media. And
absolutely.
I think that it just comes from a lot of voids that people have on the inside. Social media, don't get me wrong, it can be a beautiful thing, right? We've seen a
course.
lot of people be blessed through social media, get opportunities through social media. But if you are somebody that does not have an identity, it can destroy you.
Yeah.
And so I do think that a lot of people are taking things like prom to the next level because they see, okay, this person's child, pulled up in a Bentley.
Right
So
on.
I got to go even harder so that I can get just as many likes as she got with her child.
Yeah.
And it just becomes one big competition.
And one thing that's rampant in the black community, we're gonna focus on what we know. Showboating
Yeah.
and living above your means, but ain't coming together. We all know this. We all talk about these in our homes.
Right.
How we can see another group of cultures, races. They can get 4, 5 in the house, and everybody going to contribute, and then they'll buy another house. So then the 4 split the 2 in this house, 2 in this house. Then they put
buy the
in.
block.
They'll put in.
They buy the block.
But we gotta have the finest and the biggest and the tastiest, whatever.
Yeah.
We gotta do that a lot of times.
Come out the plastic.
Black people are. Let's be honest. We tend to live outside of our means and make bad business choices more than any other culture. But however we got to that point, we did. But I do see us coming out of that. I ain't gonna lie. I feel as though today's age we're getting smarter and smarter, and we're making more awareness of. We do have more awareness of what other people are doing and what is holding us back as a people.
Due in no small part to people like you, Joy.
Yeah,
I mean, I think the thing is just like you said, awareness, right?
Yeah.
So if I learn some information, I'm responsible for coming back to my community and giving my community that information. And I mean, it's like the old people say, you can lead a horse to the water, but that horse has to be able to drink the water. You want to teach a man how to fish so that they can eat forever, right? I think what happens with us as a community, and we are getting better at it, is that we learn the information and we don't come back.
Yeah.
And so that's always been a big thing for me. I've always said that no matter what I do, I will always come back for the people that people feel like you shouldn't come back for.
Right. I mean, all those are great points, and it just points to the fact that, in today's climate, there's no excuse for us not to not progress as a people. We already know what the problem is. We identified the problem. We can be aware. We just have to have a sense of community. Now, you got to develop a sense of community. And when I say community, I mean when you see a person that needs help or your family member needs help or this and that, you don't rush your kids to put them out when they turn 18.
Exactly.
A lot of us are good at that in our community. When you get 18, especially if you ain't in school or something, you ain't going to college. Oh,
you gotta go.
You gotta get you a job and get up. I'm tired. I ain't gotta feed you no more. You 18.
Military or school?
Military, yeah.
Let's go.
And a lot of times I don't see other coaches do that. They don't push them out immediately as soon as they sprout their wings. They ain't. Damn, can I build muscles in them first?
And a lot of times, other cultures don't force their children to pay bills. So they have to be school.
Damn.
But you're 16, 17. Hopefully, by the time you are an adult, you don't have stuff already in your name. But we are just forced into the world a little bit harder than other cultures force their children into the world.
Right on.
I worry about a future in which the cost of living is so high that it's just a survival mechanism for everybody. You gotta push your kids out of the house because you can't afford for them to be there. How do we address stuff like that?
Man.
How do we dive into stuff like that? Rising cost of living, rising cost of products and services. Like, I understand why parents do it. I agree with you guys how it should be, but I understand why a lot of people do that.
Yeah, you hit a nail on the head.
We're kind of like the only people doing it, though. And I think that it goes back to the need that we as African Americans have. So sometimes we live above our means. So you see other cultures, they're not walking around with all of their money on their body, right? They're not walking around with a $3,000 purse, but then you're in the negative in your bank account. They're going to have the big chunky tennis shoes on that we teach our children not to like because it doesn't have a label on it. So I think it goes back to going back to the basics of how do we live. If I know that I have a child, I'm going to instill in my child, like, hey, it's nice to have a pair of Jordans, but if we can't afford it, what's in your mind is more important than what's on your body.
Right on. Yeah.
And so I think just getting back to those basics, but then also community. We don't have a lot of areas where we pull on one another for resources. Back in the day, you used to be able to go to the barber and you had your neighborhood barber that everybody went to. You had your neighborhood, beautician. Nowadays, everything is so divided.
Competition.
Yeah.
Competition. It's too much competition and not cooperation. I said that in an episode
now
a couple episodes
that
ago.
To an area like Houston, spread out, lots of black people,
everybody,
lots of communities,
everybody in competition.
You don't. I might know people in my city but I don't know people on the south side.
Right.
I might know people on the north side,
tell you
but I don't know people on the west side. You
Let me
know,
tell you something. The smartest of us, you won't even know they got money because I'm gonna tell you. One of my mentors, my best friends at the time, was a millionaire, and this brother walked around with holes in his socks, driving a Nissan Versa. You know, hair unkempt, wasn't braid, he braid loose. But hey, he want to go to that. He went to the. I remember he told me when that it was a Jaguar that came out in 09. It was real sporty. I think it was Jaguar XJ or something. I don't remember. But he told me he went in there his regular self, went in the dealership, and the dealers was ignoring him. You know, they thought he didn't have it. Brother came over there. Man, how can I help you? I'm trying to get this Jag. Drop 60 cash on the table. One of the other guys was like, oh, you know, because they get a crazy, when you drop cash, oh, that's crazy commission.
Wow.
Yeah.
So the ones, like you were mentioning, we ain't got to have, they ain't walking around with the chains on, the diamond necklaces on, sitting on front row. Because you got people that ain't got it like the rappers.
Yeah.
They still want to come like the rappers, though.
Yeah.
They want to go spend that $50,000, that $20,000.
I like that you just mentioned the rappers. J. Cole just did that. He went into a Tesla joint. And you know J. Cole, very low key. I seen that. Very low key. He walks in, just chill. J. Cole, one of the most
looking like
famous
he a
people.
Rastafarian,
And they ignored him.
Yeah.
Not knowing that he comes in there. He probably has more money than every single person in there.
Can cash you out.
He could cash you out.
Wow.
Can cash you. I seen that video. I seen it. I know a lot of y'all
I'm
seen
gonna go
that.
check it out.
Oh yeah,
Check that out.
They judging the book, but those are the ones.
Yeah.
Don't judge a book by their cover. Really, probably, be honest with you, the smartest ones are walking around. Because, hey, when you got real money, you don't have to wear it on your outside. You don't have to have it on your, when you got real money, Jeff Bezos money, you don't have to wear it on your out exterior. Yeah. When have I seen Jeff Bezos walking around with a $100,000 chain on? Never.
Ever.
Go inside that man's house, though. I guarantee
Mark Zuckerberg.
Go inside his house.
Yeah.
I guarantee you that brother got shit, technology TVs, hologram TVs that we ain't even seen. It ain't released to the public. They got robots probably walking around like RoboCop serving you. How can I help you today? You know what I'm saying? I'm telling you. Hey, man, when you got real money, you don't have to wear it on your outside.
Yeah.
But also, you probably don't want to wear it on your outside.
And we saying all this here to try to put in a message of, we as a people gotta stop showboating for what do I need a $10,000 chain for, but I ain't got no fucking mortgage.
Or life insurance.
I ain't got no mortgage.
Yeah.
I'm paying a car note, but I just went and copped the $10,000 chain. That don't make sense.
Yeah.
It don't make sense. I could have put this $10,000 and paid out this car.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? But
the mentality. It's a mentality.
we follow the crowd. A lot of us as black people tend to follow the crowd.
So let's dive into why that is, though. I feel like black people have had the capitalist boot on their neck for so long that they want to, now that they have resources, they want to stunt. They want to shine a little bit.
But
they want to do that. I'm not saying that it's right, but I'm saying there's a reason for why that is.
Yeah. But
when you live in poverty, you don't always want to feel poor.
The thing I want to say to that is, black people have always stunted, bro.
Yeah,
we've always stunted.
All the way back.
All the way back. We've always stunted. And you know what? Pimp C said it best, man. Man, we come from gold and gold chains and this and that back in days when we was,
royalty.
Royal. We come from that. You know what I'm saying?
So it's
but
in DNA.
You have to be royalty to be royalty.
Yeah,
it's in my DNA to shine, but I got to look at the environment I'm in right now. I'm not in the environment where I need to be shining right now. Yeah. I'm on 5th Ave and Collins in Philadelphia, and I don't got no house. I'm selling this dope. I don't need to have my biggest chains on before I can set myself up as a target.
Right. You
see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You got to come with your brain now. That's what we got to start thinking as a people. But I ain't trying to, look, you know what? Like I said in one episode before, people that think you better than them or think you trying to think you know it all. No, man. We got to go down a different path. You know what I'm saying? We can't keep doing the same thing expecting the same results. They call it a certain term if you try to do that.
Fool.
A fool, insane.
Fool.
Insanity.
You see what I'm saying? So we hey, you know, we just keeping it real, y'all. This real talk. You know, this is what we do here. This is what we're about. And at a certain point in time, you have to understand that you are your own worst enemy. So if you sit up with all this and this and this, but you got the main things not taken care of,
It's foolish.
you're a fool.
It's foolish.
God says that a fool and his funds will soon depart.
Yeah.
It's written down. It's already written down. It's already thousands of years worth of knowledge. And a lot of us are starting to get away from that. You see what I'm saying? It's basic instruction. It's some things that you can tap into the word or whatever your choice of knowledge is. Whatever you, I'm pretty sure a lot of you Confucius or Buddha or whoever, they tell you to have the golden rule. It's all of them connect to the golden rule.
The golden rule.
You know, you believe in what you believe in. I believe what I believe in. Hey, it's fine. I ain't trying to tell you what to do, what to believe. I ain't trying to stop you because this is a free world. Because in the end of the day, y'all don't realize we all serve the same person. You just call them different terms.
Yeah.
You just try to serve them a different way. So you want to kill me because I don't want to lay down and pray this direction 10 times a day. I serve him in my way. God ain't tell you to serve him in a certain way.
Exactly.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You can't. Who is man to dictate the rules for God? Or to dictate the rules or the way? Who is man to lead you to God? You can give me good advice and just say, hey, look, you find your own way to him, but you find your way to him.
And the thing about it is we're all figuring it out, right?
Yeah.
So we judge one another about the source, about God, and how we connect with God or the source. But none of us, we're all trying to figure it out for ourselves. And I think that's been the biggest thing for me when it comes to religion that I had to learn. Because at one point I was super heavy into the church and, just felt a lot of condemnation about a lot of things from people that, I considered to be God's chosen or people that were leaders over my spiritual life. And so I had to start to realize, like, hey, when they leave from this church, they're human just like me. They're trying to figure it out just like I am. And it gave me a lot of freedom, not feeling so bound by their expectations or by their opinion of me and my life, So.
Yeah. Right on.
I think another big thing, though, that we also have to address, especially in relationship to stunting and social media, is sex. And is the relationship between men and women and wanting to impress each other. And how that comes in to getting certain things, buying certain things. You want the fast car because you really want the girl over there.
Wrong. That's
the wrong mentality to have.
That's the foundation
But
of a lot of this.
This is also the message that we be pushing through the rap music, through the movies, through the sports. A life of luxury will get you the man or woman or men or women of your dream.
I think the luxury part is more for men. I think men are more the bigger your assets look is more attractive to women because women can get a lot of assets and it's not as the same effect on the man. A lot of it can be because you have Deuce Bigelows out here.
It's transactional. So as a woman, I look good. Because you have the nice things.
There you go.
So it's a transaction. I give you what you want. You give me what I want.
There you go.
Transaction.
There you go. That's why men are some of the simplest creatures to please if a woman know how to please them, right?
But there's no real relationship, though.
Yeah.
So
Transactional.
Transactional generation, a transactional world. But we don't even know each other. Yeah. We're married. We're together. We're in a relationship. We have children together. But I don't even know the most inner parts of you.
Because you didn't get with him because you want to know his brand. You got with him because of what he was pulling up in that lane.
You got with me because I was looking good.
And she had them hips, that waist, that face, and that made me want to get a taste. That's all it's about. You see what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, it ain't gonna change because now, if you look on social media, I'm gonna tell you something. I'm gonna tell you a story I read when I was 17 years old. But today's world, you don't notice what's going on. You got to pay attention. They're pitting, and people are going with it. Y'all know about to say they pitting the black man, and I'm not racist. Love who you love or whatever, but they are. Because I don't see this in other cultures when they vocally disrespecting each other. They pitting the black man and the black woman against each other right nowadays. The plan. I read a plan the other day, and it made me question. I remember when I was 17 years old. I'm gonna tell y'all something. We keeping it real here. We just talking. Hey, no disrespect to anybody. Y'all listen. I love all of y'all. I just never forget remembering. Let me tell y'all something. I cannot remember the article, but I've always been. My mom would tell you Daryl was. He was weird. He would be reading politics and this and that when he was younger, and everybody be out there watching cartoon stuff. He'd be watching CNN, or he'd watching the Food Network. I love to cook. I love to eat. But I never forget. I was at my grandmother's house one time, and I looked on this when the internet first came. And y'all remember? Who remember when you used to get online and you try to connect to the internet? You get that doo doo doo, that motherfucker dial up.
Dial up.
Yeah,
dial up phone.
That motherfucker dial up. But I remember, reading this article about it wasn't gonna be a beef between the black and white in the future. They didn't want that. Mm-hmm. They want a beef between the black and the brown.
The black
colorism
and the brown.
And this and that. So now look what's going on. Look at Drake. Look at these people that are black. Now they got to. Do you know they got to where they now saying Africans and Caribbeans aren't black? They arguing about that. They not black Americans. They not black. We black. They arguing about blackness.
Wow.
You don't go. Okay, black people. Let's go to black people or other cultures too. We don't go to Czechoslovakia. That's a Czech. That's not a white guy. That's a Czech. You're gonna say that's a white guy. He's still white.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And a white American ain't gonna go to Czechoslovakia. You're not white. They're not gonna say that.
Yeah.
They're not gonna go to Switzerland. You're not white. They're not gonna do that.
You're white.
They're gonna look at them like the epitome of white.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So it's the game. I said this before. Is divide and conquer. Mm-hmm. You get them divided first. Now you got segments of the same fucking race arguing about who's black. Oh, I'm not black. I'm Dominican, and you looking like Wesley Snipes talking about I'm Dominican. You black motherfucker. Excuse my language.
Yeah.
Fuck that. But you looking at Wesley Snipes talking about I'm not black. I know black. I Cuban. You know, man. Look, man. We know your country, your culture. Excuse my language. I get excited. I get passionate.
Oh no, you okay? You keeping it real.
But we got to stop that. Yeah. Because let me tell you something. And I'm not trying to insult anybody by saying these facts. But from my understanding, the Caucasian population is declining. Mm-hmm. No, first of all of our populations are declining now. If you look at the charts, we all decline. Look at the charts. We all decline. Ain't no surpluses of births. It's too much abortion. It's too much unhealthy foods. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Too much sickness around the world now.
Cancer.
You see what I'm saying? So there is no way that we should be in argument with each other. Nobody should be anyway. I'm firm believer in love everybody and treat everybody. And one more thing. In this country, you got all these white supremacists coming up and whatnot, right? You came to a country that was never, ever originally white. Mm-hmm. You may have came and colonized it and had the power.
Come on now. Come on.
But it was never originally you.
It wasn't yours.
But now your power structure is threatened because now you have... You got people that's running for president, probably may win. You know, what they doing that? I don't know. But you have things going on, and a female at that may challenge and change the structure of the power source. But you're in a melting pot country. You want to make a pot of gumbo, but you was the okra in the gumbo. We got to take the strip. But you jumped in this big old pot of gumbo with roux, with okra, with sausages and chicken and shit. You won't try to take everybody else out, but you jumped in this big old pot of something else. It's not going to work.
So do you think they'll be able to handle having a woman president? Like, do you feel that the world... Let me say, do you feel like America is ready for a black
You know what? And I want to ask you about that.
Yeah.
Because it's been debate. And I think, I'm going to tell you my honest opinion, but it's been debate that she ain't black or she don't consider black until she can use you. And so, I don't know if you've heard that, but if you've been in tap with social media.
Oh, I have. I've heard it.
They're arguing it like you ain't black until you trying to use black people. You wasn't putting hot sauce on your greens on TV until you had to you wasn't washing greens in no bathtub like you said.
Well, I mean, and then when people start to say stuff like that, it bothers me because as a black woman, you know, you're raised to rise above what someone expects for you to be as a black woman. So when you start getting to these environments where you're dealing with, you know, a lot of white people, you know, with power, who doesn't change something about themselves? Yeah. You know, we straighten our hair, you know, we add extensions to it.
Right.
It's not a lot of people that are at that level that's walking around with an afro saying black power.
Right.
So when we judge her, it's like, well, what are you doing when you go to work? You know, you're dressing the way they tell you to dress. Mm-hmm. You know, you're making yourself fit into their bubble for your purpose. And I feel like when you look at her, that's what she's done.
That's the only way she could even stay in office.
I'm gonna tell you this. I'm gonna tell you this. I think the lady knows she black in some form of fashion. She don't, but she's not pure black. So why would she own up to that?
Obama wasn't pure black.
But why do you have to own up just because you're not pure black? You don't have to say, I'm black. You're not pure black. Who cares? Who cares? Who cares?
How many of us are pure
black?
Right,
exactly.
But then it comes down to the question of the one drop rule.
The 1% nigga, you a nigga?
1% nigga, you a nigga.
Yeah.
Okay, so
that is so deeply entrenched in our culture
let me tell
that
you
if
something.
you have somebody who is a little bit black, of course they're gonna say, "Oh yeah, now it is convenient for me."
But I'm gonna tell you something though. You gotta look at, you know, again, going back to what I said. So this is where the struggle come in for me at. You know that there are supremacists that are smart. They play chess. They may even give you an apple with a razor in it, but they'll put out there, you know, she ain't black. She wasn't pretending to be black until it's time to run for president. But the lady went to Howard. The lady was in the AKA. You can't be an AKA unless you a sister. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know.
That's true. That's
the
true.
9, they call it the 9. They got a 9. They got the deltas, the sigmas.
Now there are white people that are trying to break those stigmas because they feel like if we can be in their sororities and fraternities.
So they do have them join them? So they do have them join? Okay.
Yeah.
But see, that's what we would let them in. We would let them in.
Yeah. We
Black folks would let them in.
We want them to want to sit at our table.
Yeah.
We want them
but that's how we are.
Yeah.
And so my only thing is she experienced enough? You know, does she have the experience? I know she sat under Joe for 4 years under policy, you know, but don't be mistaken. Oh, they won't go fight. You think it was something when Joe won? Let a woman beat old Don.
But you have a lot of black people that don't want to see her in office. Especially a lot of black men.
Yeah, black
I mean,
men,
you know, some black men, they're not white, but they could be supremacists when it comes to, you know, the gender roles.
Yeah.
And there are a lot of black men that feel like a woman shouldn't run, you know, this country, even though.
You know what? I'm gonna confess.
Yeah. You know
what I said.
Strongest.
I'm just a man.
Yeah.
And so, you know, I can't lie. I did say on the episode, y'all comment, you know, these motherfuckers, they'll go on social media and twist up words too. They not only can they go back and pull something you said, they can pull something you said and make you say something else.
Yeah.
Oh, I seen it done. But I did say that I would like the strongest lead. I don't necessarily, but you got to look at the alternatives too, man. I got to sit back and look. Who do I don't know. Because, okay, let me tell you something. In today's world, this is how black men think. Because I'm out there. Especially like them passport bros. What do they think, brother? What do they think? Well, first of all, we men as a general, the black men, y'all tell me if I'm wrong, we feel like we got enemies everywhere. Mm-hmm. We feel like the sisters can be our enemies. And we definitely know the white man can be your enemy. Mm-hmm. So we stuck in the middle of, well, they so hurt because child support, or they so hurt because they've been slighted by a woman that don't seem to have logic, but want to use her rule with emotion, and she know you doing right by this kid, but she still want to make it like you ain't, and she's still holding them back. So when you say black men, you're right, because they've been so slighted by the system. So when they get in power, they scared of, well, damn, they gonna just turn it up on me.
We're the ones that are really running this world. Black women run this world. Women, period. But black women, there's a power.
They're the most. I said it. They're the most educated in the country.
There's a power that we have that no one else. I don't care what other race of woman just don't have.
And they have to come up through obstacles that nobody else in the world has to come up through. They're a double minority.
You have a black woman that gives birth to a black man that grows up to say, I don't think that a woman can run this country. I'm
gonna tell you something though. The cure for that is to keep first of all. But look at the black woman a lot of times. What the younger black women like. The younger black women don't want the good guy that's going, a lot of them, unless you raised right. Now, I'm be honest, if you grew up like most of us did in single parent households, your examples are who you see coming in and out the house or streets or whatever. And then we as black men have to step up too. You got to treat these women with respect. But see, everything is sexual, and it's just going to be harder. And let's be honest. It's not, back in the 60s and 50s, they were more together.
Yeah.
They were more together.
And I think another thing for black men with, her becoming president is her history when she was an attorney.
Yes, locking a bunch of them up, laughing about certain charges when she did the same things to, or whatever.
I mean, but then we have to take accountability too, because she locked you up, but you did the crime.
Well, there was one case. Hold up, sister. There was one case where this brother didn't do the crime, and evidence was going to exonerate him from death row, and she was finna have the brother executed. But because the governor of California stepped in and say, no, let's see this evidence, the brother was spared his life. That's an ugly situation. I'm sorry, no way you put it. But then
on the other hand, on the flip side,
she made a mistake though. She made a mistake.
On the flip side,
could have cost him life.
We have another option that's basically saying that he's gonna turn America white again. So it's like,
and you know what he tricked? You know what his thing is? I don't. You know what? You may.
So let me ask a very hard question.
That's the uncertainty of it all.
Let me ask
what is he going to do?
Very hard question for both of you. Mm-hmm. Would you rather, as black people in this country,
I know where you're going, but go ahead.
Would you rather be screwed over by a white man, or would you rather be screwed over by a black woman?
I'd rather be screwed over by a black woman, because at least I know I ain't gonna be. It ain't about my color. You just don't like me,
Miss Joy.
I would definitely rather be screwed over.
Because you just you gonna try to put.
Said it yet.
You might try.
She ain't said it yet. Yeah. Come on with it.
But screwed over how? The screw over would be different. The screw over would be different.
Policies, politics, the screw over, all of that shit.
The screw over would be different.
When it comes down to it, would you rather be?
The screw over is gonna be different by a white man.
Yeah,
it's gonna be different.
But would you rather?
I'd rather be screwed over by a white man than a black woman. And I can honestly,
Explain that.
I can say that because.
And what did the screw look like for a black person? You as a white man screw over. How would a white man screw over a black person versus how would a black woman screw over a black person?
You know what to expect from a white man. The games that they've played, the screw overs, it's history repeating itself.
But what if you have a white man that looks at you like a Hitler looked at the Jews? And you were just a scourge on the planet. All they do is see you fighting. All they do is see you pregnant. All they do is see you shaking your ass and shaking. And we talking. So we talking about American president. So what if they one president come along and say, you know what, we'll be better without this distraction on our children. And then they're trying to race mix, trying to promote racial interracial mixing and stuff. What if they came out and you're the Jew now? You as the 13 million, the one of the smaller minority groups, or the more threatening minority groups in America, what if you became the Jew? Would the black woman send you to the gas chamber? Or they ain't got that no more. They would have a disintegration chamber. You step in, you turn to dust. They got some shit now. You step in there, they just got to sweep your ass up out of that motherfucker. So let's be honest. Do you think about that? Because something's coming.
Oh yeah, something's coming.
Something's coming. You can feel it.
If you
something's
have any
coming.
level of spiritual discernment, it's a heaviness. Something is coming.
Something is coming.
And I feel that it's going to come from either side.
And that's what this is hard.
Yeah, it's a matter of.
Do you want to be swept up, or do you just want to be locked up?
Because from that side, we don't really know what to expect. We know what to expect from this clown. I mean, he has made it loud
You
and clear.
think you do. That's
He's
what I'm
made it loud
saying.
and clear how he's you can prepare yourself. Let me say that. We've already had him for 4 years before. And he's very loud and adamant about who he is, his stance, what he believes. So as a people, we can take what he's telling us and prepare ourselves. On the other hand, we don't know what this person is going to do and how they're going to do it. So it's like being snuck and you didn't know it was coming.
So let me ask the other version. Would you rather be blessed by a white man or blessed by a black woman?
As a black man.
From a presidential standpoint.
As a black man.
As a black man, as black people
I'm getting blessed by the
world.
white man. I'm getting blessed by the black woman.
Yeah. Which would you rather?
Who do I think will bless me as a black man more?
Which would
I
you
think
rather
that I
have?
think
Which
that the
would you
white I
rather?
think that the white man will bless a black man more than a black woman will bless a black man, because the blessings would be different again. When we talk about blessings, that means now they doing something nice for you. What's nice for a man to another man? That's gonna be that ain't if a white man is blessing you, it's gonna be more likely a blessing that men can like. Are you talking about me as a man? Or are you talking about me as a people? What are we talking about here?
Us as a people.
As a people.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Us as a people.
Do you feel like a white man is going to prioritize the blessings of the black community
Of
throughout the United States?
you saying us? Oh, you saying us as a black people, or us as a people of the nation?
So for that, I would have to say a black woman, because I feel like a black woman knows what blessings her community needs. But then it goes back to the level of black. You know.
Now, let me ask you this, Joy.
What?
Do you agree? Because this is what, and I can present some statistics to you.
Okay.
Do you believe that? Are you one of the inks that believe that women don't rule with their logical thinking, and men think with their logic? Women are gonna rule with their emotions, and men are gonna use their brains more of the time. Their logic, like the assessments of history and this
Right brain, left brain.
To make choices in life, and what do you think? I want to hear you. Do you think men are more? Are you one of the ones that believe that men are more logical than women?
Nowadays,
Which
men are
hemisphere
sassy, so it's really hard to. I feel like there are more women are tougher nowadays. We have come a long way from our emotions. Whereas now you have men that are reacting and doing things more out of their emotions than the women are. So I really feel that the roles have reversed. And I think that it's just time for a woman leader.
And so I have to say that's not true.
That's
It's just more exposed. It's just put in Front Street.
Sassy
I don't know
nowadays.
that many sassy men
And
in
I
my
don't
life.
mean sassy
But the
in
world
their-
will put
in their
sassy men
gender.
out in front. This world is run.
I wouldn't say that the roles have been reversed, but I do think that they've kind of like come closer to a middle ground.
Yeah.
Big time.
It's not. It's
Yeah.
just the people that are in power. The people that are in power are using two things now, using logic and emotion. And so if you're combining a man with a woman, you're going to be in touch with both sides even more so. But when you're playing, and so in certain ways, it can help you when it comes to empathy and stuff like that. But when it comes to playing chess, ain't no fucking emotion in chess. Tell me.
You saying that you don't?
Tell me.
So you really
Tell
don't
me.
think a woman can run the country? Let's be real.
I don't know. I give him a chance.
Well, put it this way.
It never has been done.
A man has been running this country for how long?
All I'm gonna say.
Hold on. A man has been running the country for how long?
The whole entire time.
Exactly. And look where we are.
Look where we are. We are the greatest nation in the world.
Are we?
We have been
Are
for so
we?
long. We have. You gotta understand. We have been.
Let me ask his question. Let me ask his question a different way.
Okay.
Is the system set up for a woman to become president? That's a different question. I mean, it's the same question, but a different way. Is this country set up in a way that it would? I don't know. Like,
what's the country set up for a black man to become president?
No, because this
And he
is not
did.
because let me tell you
For 2
why.
terms.
We don't have but it wasn't set up for him. They pushed at him. He couldn't barely pass anything. And now it seems like the Republicans get anything they want, no matter who's in president, who's in power. They passing laws, it's like, why are they pushing this? How are they able to push this? Why does it seem like the Democrats never push stuff? But maybe they say they pushed it with some of the things that did get passed by Obama. But the things that, all I'm saying is, I think that let's just give them a chance. But I'm going to tell you like this here, from my experience and from just looking at you look at a resume. Mm-hmm. Even listen, y'all, when you get in relationships, we're going to touch on relationships in a second. Mm-hmm. But you gotta, and you gotta look at a person's resume. What's their history? What's their history? Mm. So that's what men are worried about. She hasn't shown the competence of when she had power, of using her power to the best of her ability. She made emotional choices. Why are you holding evidence from this man that could save his life?
And then I think we have to remember too, she's just one piece of the chess game that you're talking about. So, a lot of times we get fixated on who's our president, but we're not looking at the people that are actually making the laws and passing them.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Congress.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Like Republicans got stuff moved still now. Like, look at that.
I think that was the point of our last episode.
Democrats are in power, but there's still total bans on abortion now. I'm not for or against it, don't matter. I feel like I say,
it's not your body.
I'm one of these people.
It's not your body.
Believe, hey, as long as you're not, excuse me, I see that's how I go.
Yeah.
As long as you're not infringing on my rights, personal, you're doing something that. So if you want to stab yourself 1,000 times, I'm not finna outlaw you.
Yeah.
You might die. You're gonna kill yourself. Whatever happens in the after, whatever your after believe when you pass on. Let you deal with that. Who am I to judge you? Long as you're not infringing and not trying to fuck with my kids and trying to put the pins on my kids. Let my kids be innocent and natural. It don't need to be time for sexual deviance on YouTube and Disney and this and that. Let my kids do what they want to do.
Yeah.
I know which way I want my kids to go, but let them deal with that innocently.
Right.
Is there too much sexual deviance now?
Yeah.
That's all. What you're doing is sexual, do it in your privacy. Okay. You want to do what you want to do it. That's fine. Why am I my fucking business? But don't push. Nobody needs to be screwing. And so there's some things, I don't know if you're familiar with the term Project 2025.
I was about to say that.
So there are some things that I agree with.
Like what?
Censoring porn.
Okay.
Criminalizing sex work. Criminalizing. I'm okay with it. If they ban OnlyFans, and I'm gonna say this like I said, you probably heard me say this, but I don't knock you if you do OnlyFans. Get your money, man, because it's the avenue open for you. Go get it. But if they criminalize it, I'm not gonna be saying, oh no, they banning OnlyFans.
Me neither.
You old freaking 69 guards need to stop watching this shit anyway and focus on some prosperity.
Yeah.
It make you better for it.
Some substance.
Because it ruins your mentality towards women anyway. The people that's fucking with porn, you look at women, you can't build bonds with women because you look at them as straight sexual objects. You don't know how to. You don't look at them nothing but something to get you off. You don't know how to make it. Every time you've had it, because you never was a person that's gonna go out there and be personable anyway, and go have charisma and charm and talk to women anyway. You only see them from when you getting off on your computer screen or your phone screen. So when you meet a woman, you don't know how to deal with her. You think that's all you think they for. Because that's the only reactions you have in your damn basement.
Yeah, look what he done to Kurt Franklin. I mean, the man is older now and he still has struggles from, when that was an addiction for
exactly.
him. It alters your brain.
Terry Crews.
So I'm not against that. Yeah. I really do.
Kanye West.
If I was the president, I'm telling you now.
I would be scared to kind of live under you. You got me a little nervous.
I'll be fair as everybody. You heard what I said now. No, you heard what I said. Now, turns out you heard what I said now. Because I'm going to make the generation better. My kids these kids, this is the future I'm thinking about. If you do whatever you're doing, I'm going to let you do it. But I ain't finna make no bathrooms for you. I ain't finna let you get no sports and shit. I'm sorry. I wouldn't make you get no sports against you ain't finna be no man that genetically didn't modify yourself and go in and like they did Olympics or they claim it. I don't know if it's true or not because they suing. They suing Elon them and that. But you beating up that. That's true. I'm not going for that.
Yeah, me neither.
But if you want to do what you want to do, go ahead, brother. But you ain't finna nobody, man or woman, finna be able to promote sexuality in a just so crazy way where now you just all of them, man, they got nothing. They got nothing, man, half of nothing on, shaking ass and shaking balls and cat, whatever they doing.
It desensitizes us.
And I don't want that.
Yeah,
We desensitized to murder now.
Yeah.
Used to see a person lay on the street, dead body part laying over here, you be like, oh my God. Now you, oh damn. And go on about your way.
That's real.
Desensitization, because that's why these games like Modern Warfare and shit, it desensitizes you to what's coming. If it does come. I don't know if it's coming or not, but it seems like this that way. It's been going all over the other places all over the world. You know what I'm saying? I hope it's not coming. But you still desensitized, man. These kids, that's why you have more. Look, now more than ever, tell me if I'm wrong, we talked about this too. These teachers, it's because of the students are desensitized. Now they shooting at the teachers. That's why some of these teachers giving in. Might be a fly guy, football player or something, flirting with a teacher. She ain't getting something at home, or her husband ain't doing right at home, and she gonna take the bait. Now that's your fault, but that's why I say you gotta have logic.
Well, then I think with that too, there is no back. I know, I was born in the 90s, but the way I was raised, was by old school parents that kids were kids and adults were adults.
Oh yes.
And so now what happens is there's no boundaries.
That's a lost
of
art. Children
and adults. It's like, well, they're kids, but they have a voice, but this, but that. And so what happens is kids are playing on the same, lines that adults are playing on. There's no boundaries anymore between adults and kids. And for me, I'm raising one of my nieces. My sister passed. One of her kids, one of her daughters live with me. I don't play. I'm your aunt, but you're gonna respect me.
Oh yeah, you old school with it. That's how it's supposed
very
to be.
old school. Certain things you're not gonna watch.
Remember?
Certain things that we're not gonna listen to.
Yeah.
And she's 15.
And now we all guilty of that. We playing any music and everything, even on Sundays. See, when I grew up, I mentioned this on Sundays. Hey, we going to church. You better not touch a rap station or 102 or 97.9.
I couldn't watch BET growing up, especially after dark.
Yeah,
that was something you tried to
BET
sneak
Uncut.
and watch,
Yeah,
right?
see back then, you had to have a harder access to that content. Yeah. You had to sneak up and watch BET Uncut or HBO late at night. Remember HBO late at night? And who remember Real Sex?
Yeah.
Who remember Real Sex? Y'all freaking motherfuckers remember Real Sex out there, because some of y'all grew up fast.
And if adults were having an adult night playing cards,
you stay your ass upstairs.
Kids were separated. It was completely different. You
play the game.
Upstairs around. Yeah, you're gonna be with the kids. And if you
don't
come
you come
into
down
the room
here
with an adult,
don't you come down here.
Yeah, so
you already ate.
Yeah.
You already took a bath. You bathroom, go pee. Don't come down here.
Exactly.
That's true. That's lost. Now the kids is in the mix.
Yeah. They sitting at the card table.
They treating their kids like grown-ups now.
Yeah.
Expecting them to do grown-up things.
Yeah.
Responsibilities. Hey, you hit the nail on the head with that one. It's too much desensitized. Whatever it is. Desensitized. You know what I'm saying? I always get jumping up every episode. Desensitized.
Yeah.
And that's part of the problem. But that goes back to some of this. I would make it. Hey, who gonna get mad? So y'all out here in the world want to get mad at me because I want to protect. Say, look, y'all go and watch your business, make your money to that, but stop showing ass and titties and stuff and making it easy. You got these social media sites. If I find out that you can be fined, if I find out that children are accessing your site, you gonna pay a fine. Make more money for the country, because you gonna bet you're gonna start regulating that shit now. They getting through VPNs. They lying through VPNs and shit, and we got VPNs on. Make VPNs pay more.
But is it their responsibility or yours?
It's the leaders that's why you need a leader. Because these people don't know how to handle themselves. A leader leads. It's the leader's responsibility.
Right, but what I'm saying is it someone else's response? So if I am the owner of OnlyFans, is it my responsibility to keep your child off of this, or is it yours?
Hey, you want to keep in my mind as a leader, you making money on these OnlyFans, ain't you, sir? You want to keep making money? You better find protocols to keep these children out there. You're going to keep paying a fine for every child that I find out that access your content. There ain't nothing wrong with that, Joy. In my mentality, there's nothing wrong.
But you're the parent. Why are you not making sure your child?
Oh yeah, but that's okay. But still, the ultimate leader is the person that's putting it out.
I think we can't understate the importance, though, of the mobile phone, and whether or not you allow your kids to go on it or not, they could be in their room on it. It could be in the car on it. It could be in the backyard on
And
it.
in my opinion, a child doesn't need a cell phone until a certain age. What's
You know-
your
and you know
child
what-
have
and
a
you know
phone
what?
for? But that's
You know
becoming
what?
the
You're
new
right.
babysitter.
You're right.
You know, people don't spend time with their kids anymore. It's no family. It's no coming to the table, sitting down, talking to your kids, having family dinner. It's I want to be watching my reality TV show. I want you to be quiet. So here go a phone. Here go a tablet.
From the moment they born, I said that. You putting damn phone in their
No
hand.
relationship. No. So, and I mean, you know, and a lot of parents, as educators, I have a lot of friends that are educators.
Is that the mark of the beast or something?
I think so.
Because
you know,
it just leads you down the path at an early age. You exposed
Yeah.
at an early age.
I have a lot of friends that are educators, and they complain that there's no relationship with parents and their kids. You know, it comes to the end of the school year. These parents are like, you know, well, how's my child not going to the next grade? But the parent was nowhere in sight the entire year. Never showed up to the school, never answered the phone. But then you're mad at the educator because you didn't educate my child.
And what I think is interesting is that there's no blueprint for this day and age that we have now.
Yeah.
Nobody knows what to do or how to get out of this.
Yeah.
We
I know
created
what
a
to do.
technology that
I
we're
know what
addicted
to do.
to.
I
We
know what to
created
do.
apps and stuff like that took down our attention.
I'm telling you.
And everybody, from the parents to the teenagers to the little kids, are all using this stuff.
Yeah.
So how do you break that down? How do you break down a system that a large part of your economy, not even forget the degeneracy,
Right.
large part of your production, Amazon, Facebook, buying apps on, buying things off of apps, selling products, promoting products online, are done through mobile devices.
Did you
So
guys
how
ever
do you
see
break that down?
Did you guys ever see the interview where an Apple employee said that their kids are only allowed to use technology 1 or 2 hours out the day?
I
Now
believe
they create this stuff and
Yeah.
sell it to us and our but their children,
That's what Bill Gates said that too.
they use it for school or for research purposes, a little entertainment, but the way our kids have access to it, they do not, because they know what it does to their children's mind. And these are the people that are creating this.
Yeah.
You
So-
know, and that's something that, you know, we as parents need to implement, because I have a child that he gonna watch that phone. And
Yeah.
I may get back to y'all to that, because I'm glad you said that. I may implement that test study, and since y'all can catch me live, tell you how it's
Yeah.
going over the time, I'll tell you 3 months later what's the changes I've seen.
Yeah.
You know,
Come talk to me. Up a book.
Yeah, pick
You
up
know?
a book. Come talk to me.
Yeah.
Come tell me what you're going through. How was school today? People don't even ask their kid can you believe that? How was school today? And then they'll let the kid come in there and say, good.
What does that
okay.
mean?
Yeah, good. Okay. And they let them go about their way.
Yeah.
No, going to death. What did you learn today? We don't do that no more. You know, we don't do that anymore. And we don't think. Here go the thing. We don't think as much for
Right.
ourselves. We still think, but definitely not as much for ourselves as we
Wow.
do anymore. And it's people that can't come up with invent a new recipe because they always on YouTube. You might have discovered a new way to cook fried chicken or something, but you don't know how to cook, first of all. But then you go to YouTube and watch them cook. And so that's the way you know how to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, it's the same thing with life. We can't come up with new things. We're going to start letting machines do it. That's what's going to happen. You're going to let AI. It's so many people now that let AI write their papers.
Wow.
Don't have pride in their own mentality. I'm so busy. Let me just hit this AI. Well, we know. Let me write this let
Yeah.
me write this paper for me for school. You know.
And you can tell, because then when you have conversation with them,
They don't talk like that.
yeah, you can tell.
Yeah. You don't talk your
They don't
conversation
know
ain't
that
like that.
subject matter. Didn't
Yeah.
you just say this, Jimmy, in this paper? That paper? Oh yeah. The president. Man, I wasn't talking about the president. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. You know, one thing is it's good that, you know, we kind of touching on these things, but one point that we need to get across is we all on the same page, and we all need to be on the same page. Let's just get educated, everybody. Let's just change the way we do things. We already know hundreds of years of oppression then pushed us to a situation where we kind of don't have the same advantages of other cultures that weren't
Right.
enslaved or didn't grow up with everything, that wasn't depressed or held back
Right.
or discriminated against. But now we're intelligent enough to start. You have no excuses now to rise up out of the ash. You have all of the resources that you've never had, and you have more resources now that you ever had in 1879. Look at the resources you got now composed to when you was in 1879 in America.
Yep.
That's
You see what I'm
real.
saying? Or 1888 or whatever the hell it was, 1679. look at the resources you have now.
Yeah.
You
Well,
have
I think
no excuse to climb up out of that hole.
I agree. My thing is for me, it's also realizing that big changes start small and they take a long time.
Yes.
So
Yes.
like what you're doing, mental health, stuff like
Right.
that, for the full effects of us to see that, it's going to be like 100, 200, 300 years.
But that's because...
But you can create communities and even big pockets of people who value that stuff. But then for like the whole society to change, that does take a long,
But it's
long
like you
time.
can't see. People want the change to happen in their lifetime. You
In
just
their
need to
lifetime.
be worried about.
That's what they want.
You need to think about. I need to change my child, make it better for my child. So
Yeah.
then he got what he had, and it wasn't much, but it was better than what I had. So then he makes it better for his child, and it's better than what he had. It's better. So until you wash that shit out of your family generation and system, that mentality, you got to wash it out through behaviors and generations. You got to wash out changes. My dad used to smoke crack.
Exactly.
I ain't never wanted to smoke crack, but my dad used to rob. Too. He used to rob and smoke crack. So I didn't smoke crack, but I robbed. My kid now see me in prison. He's seen how it happened to me. He don't want to rob no more. So now that's not a problem that he did. So he don't smoke crack and he don't rob. You know, he might just be something else.
Smoke a little weed.
Smoke a little
Yeah.
weed. And he don't have that same drive that a person that did smoke weed has. So this kid will see him smoking weed and be like, well, my dad, he was good, okay, but he didn't have much of a drive. He kind of worked a little job at the warehouse and smoked his weed or whatever, and I didn't like the way he turned out. Now, I'm not going to smoke weed. So now I'm not going to smoke weed. I'm going to work. I'm going to work a 9 to 5 and go and get me a pension and retire. But my kids see me and I preach to my kid like, hey, my life was okay, but you can do better by going to college. So now my kids see me my dad, okay, he just worked 9 to 5. He's just old blue collar guy. And he saw you doing that. And then he say, well, let me go to college and let me go get me a little bachelor degree. And then to go on forth and improve. That's how you got to do it. You can't sit there and, hey, you're more than likely not going to be the top of your bloodline if you don't shoot, if you go ahead, regardless of what you do, somebody's going to be watching you and say, well, I ain't like that, what they did anyway.
And you should hope not. You should
hope
not.
You
should
always,
hope that your kids
always
and
are
your
better than
grandkids
you.
and your great-grandkids are going to be even better than you.
Always. That's it. That's how you do
That's the way it is.
So with what y'all are saying, I guess my thing, like right now, has been who are the leaders of our generation? You know, like, you know, from 20 to I'm gonna say 45. Who's our leaders? You know, the older generations, they had their Malcolm X. They had their leaders that attempted to lead change within the Black community. Who do we have? Outside of our rappers.
I'd say
talking about
Obama.
rappers?
I'd say
I said
Obama.
outside of our rappers.
Yeah.
He's outside the age range you're talking about, but I'd say Obama. Whether or not we agree with his policy or whatever, that was a very big moment for Black culture in the U.S. All over the world, really.
It started
That was a
somewhere.
big
That
one.
was a start. So it's gonna be more. It's gonna be more after that if God says.
And I say that
There
to
is,
say that we need new leaders.
We need
new leaders.
We need new
We need-
leaders.
But you
we
need
also
us.
have to appreciate the people who are here who are doing good work. Like the lady who's the Supreme on the Supreme Court, the Black lady who got on there, they asking her the dumbest questions I ever heard, asking her racist questions. But she is a leader.
Right.
She could be a big leader for our community. We could really look up to her.
Yeah.
Can you talking about Kejani Brown?
Exactly.
Kejani, it's K Brown. I know Brown. I know with
Brown.
the dreads.
Yeah.
With the dreads.
Yeah.
She's married to the Caucasian guy.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
know you're talking about Kejani Brown. I want to say
But at
Kejani
least her
Brown.
career.
I know. I'm telling you, I
career-wise.
know about these. You talking about Kejani Brown, but it's gonna take. I'm gonna tell you. I think the best president will come out of '85. Whoever born '85 right now, they gonna be probably one of the best presidents because they got the best of both.
You were born in '85.
That's so biased.
But listen,
That is so biased.
listen, because listen at me talk. Who wouldn't? Do y'all want me to start running for president? I swear I'll be the fairest. I just got to learn foreign policy and economics better. But I would not oppress anybody. But you ain't finna. It's gonna be said. You're going to. You might not. Hey, you're not gonna be exposed these kids to sexual deviation. You know what I'm saying? And we need these kids. Our future generation. We're dependent on them.
I think we are, for me, that's just the scariest thing for our community. I don't see just a lot of leaders rising up. I feel that a lot of
you ain't lying.
the older generation is struggling because they don't feel comfortable enough to pass the torch. Because it's not really, I'm not going to say it's not nothing there, because there are leaders. But I think that there's a breakdown somewhere. And you see a lot of older leaders that are saying, what do we do? Because I'm tired. I ran the race, you know, I've paved the way, but who do I trust to come under me and take this torch?
And a big thing about that,
understudy that I can pass
I
this
love
torch
what
to?
you said. A big thing about that is how exponentially more advanced we got with technology in a short amount of time. So they're looking at us like, hey, I don't even know what the younger generation is doing.
Right.
They don't understand that information comes out on Twitter before it comes out on CNN.
Mm-hmm.
They don't understand that you can use Wi-Fi and apps and all these things to be hyper productive.
Right.
They don't understand that, like, they're trying to like find someone to hand the baton to, not understanding that we're like a different generation entirely.
But then you have a lot of us in our generation that we don't really get off into what's really important sometimes. And so because of technology, if social media don't say that it's fun or it's the thing to do, we're not vigilant about it. So you have a lot of people that, you know, are young people that could really be really good leaders, but social media has us so caught up. And so we're so busy trying to like stunt and look good, become influencers. This is the influence, you know, community is just crazy. But what are we really influencing people to do?
Yeah.
You know, so I think that that's just something that I've been very like just praying about, like rise up leaders that actually care about their community, that will do stuff within the community, because that's where change comes, right? So, you know, just getting off of social media for a little while and learning politics. A lot of young people don't know politics.
Don't know. I you know what? It's sad. I sat there and asked my kids one day, they was here. I say, can you name the 3 branches of government? And they in high school. Couldn't do it. So I had to sit there and educate them on the 3 branches of government.
Executive,
Legislative.
legislative.
Yeah.
Hey, and then explain to them what they all do.
And what's the purpose?
You see what I'm saying?
But if you probably ask
That's
them,
something you should know.
who's the most viral person on TikTok?
They can't even tell you my kids couldn't even tell you who the damn vice president is.
Wow.
That's because they're not paying attention to Mr. Beast, whoever his name is on YouTube. They paying attention to I Show Speed. What's his name? Kai Sinat. Hey, God bless all them brothers. I'm knocking you. Do your thing. You're getting their money. But when you ain't getting that kind of money, you need to be trying to figure out how can you set yourself up, take care of your business first. You steady watching other people doing they shine. You want to watch other people living lavish, shining and shit, instead of you sitting there, well, damn, let me go do this. Not watch them do this, not even try to copy them do this.
Yeah,
Let me they not trying to push themselves. This is a generation of kids that don't think for themselves. They want to. They quicker to shoot now. They quicker to kill. When people used to fight more,
big time. But my thing is, my concern, or maybe I shouldn't be concerned about it, but the people that they're going to vote for, your kids when they're 18, 22, you know, whatever,
the fun person
are going to be
the fun
Mr.
guy.
Beast,
the fun guy.
They're going to be Kai.
The fun guy.
Not literally them.
Some celebrity,
but somebody like that who like they have no experience in office, but they know how to run their mouth on. Online.
The popular person.
Yeah, the popular
how y'all
person.
feel about our current possible president?
And
so are we shifting to that where the resume not be in depth?
I think that's a perfect shift, though.
Yeah,
because that's how I see it. Like, you think Trump is bad, or you think Trump is good? Well, wait 15, 20 years down the road when you have Trump 2.0, who has 100 million followers on YouTube and 100 million followers on X and 100 million followers on IG.
That's a good way to look at that.
It's gonna be a bunch of people at the polls just closing their eyes, holding their nose, and pressing the button. I promise you. That's what's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. Yeah. It's gonna happen. Like,
did y'all see how much money they raised for her in so little time?
Yeah.
Women are powerful. There was women that came together.
Women.
No emotions.
Nah.
Logic.
I think that's
logic.
I think that's a lot of emotion. Because you know what? They're threatening women's rights. That's what they fucking up with. You telling a woman what to do with her body. That's what they messing up with. That's one of the biggest things that they're messing up with. Yep. Like, stop. They saying, hey, you can't. They locking them down. You can't go. You can't. If it's gonna start being a crime to even fly to state to go try to get abortions and shit now.
And people can report you and get money,
reward money. So
reward
that's
money.
like starting to be too much for women. That's like, this is my body. I got raped.
Yeah.
You know, I don't like this guy. He's a fucking deadbeat. I already seen some side of him. Then I done seen a side of him. But then again, too. Now, let it happen. Let them do it. If they want to do it, let them do it. Don't try to. You're trying to control a person, bro. If there's services out there, let the woman go do it. Whatever she got to deal with later on in life, if that's something she got to deal with, let her deal with it. You got to let people be. God doesn't let you not take a step to the abortion clinic. He don't. He gonna deal with what he gonna. If he feel like something wrong with that later, he's gonna come deal with that later. Maybe if that's something that he doesn't like. So you shouldn't be playing God, trying to control like another human.
It's like we're starting to live under a dictatorship, and this country was supposed to be a
democracy.
Yeah, and so it's like, do we want a dictatorship or do we want to stick to what we said this country was supposed to be?
No, this country was never a democracy.
You just let people crash
right?
if they want to crash.
That's
us. How I feel.
It wasn't.
These grown ass people, if they want to crash and burn, do something that they want to do, let them do it.
Yeah,
that's gonna piss them off if they can't do it. That's where you lose votes. That's why you're gonna lose votes. You're not gonna rule with just authority. Hey, look, you're not gonna commit crimes. You're not gonna be able to. I'm out. Hey. As a man that's announcing a future presidential candidacy, you're not going to be able to commit crimes and get away with it. I'm going to stop sexual deviancy on public. If you want to do it in privacy, and it's got to be locked down privacy, and if you get caught, you're going to get punished for getting caught for somebody caught in.
But the thing about, has that ever really been private, or is it just
it don't matter now though,
because
to me
it's on social media?
Well, to me, but that's what I'm saying. It don't matter to me. We're gonna lock this shit down. Cause I need my kid growing with innocence.
Because now we have OnlyFans, but back in the day they had madams, they had whorehouses. I mean, it's
but ain't no kid walking in no whorehouse, baby.
There.
Ain't no kid walking in no whorehouse. You gotta show your ID. You ain't got to show your ID to go lock you up in that room. Hey, go to bed. It's time for you to go to bed and get in bed. And you go up there, and they got the phone under the cover, looking at porn and shit. And you don't know what they doing. You really don't know. Now, again, it used to be so hard to access sexual content as a kid. We agreed on it early on in the episode. Now, it's so easy, and it's showing. It's showing. And a lot of our stunting as black people, and people, period, is because of women. Women do hold a lot of power. Women are the cause for all this damn stunting.
What?
They are. You want to have the best car. You want to have the flyest ride.
No.
And the women want to have the best booty, best titties. So they're going to pay for it.
There are women that want a man of substance.
Oh, yeah. Yes. Of course.
But there are men that, they're attracted to the wrong type of women. I mean, if you're attracted to a woman because of her hips and her breasts, but you're not, trying to be attracted to what's on the inside, that's your fault. So you get what you get when you come on the other side of it. So it's like y'all have to take responsibility too.
But would you say...
I think we both have to take responsibility and not disproportionately assign, responsibility. Like you're saying, there are a lot of good women out there.
Yeah.
A lot of good niggas out there, right?
Exactly.
But we assign so much power to the toxic extremes on both sides.
People like pain.
And then we think
people love
that's
pain.
The norm.
People love pain.
Oh yeah,
they love drama.
They love drama.
Yeah,
they love
do you
drama.
think that women really want to go lay on the table and get a BBL? But in a lot of women's mind, nowadays, if you don't have the body, you feel like you're competing with all of these different women that then went spent, $5,000-$10,000 on their body. So it's becoming a trend because I want to be married. I want a man to take me serious. But most women know that men, they don't pay attention to what's in here. A man is going to be attracted to you by what he sees.
First. At least
yes,
first.
first.
Almost always.
But that's
first.
like a lot of times, what's the first thing you look at a man when you look at him? It's both people. I look at their face and their feet.
Yeah.
Is that like I already told you, my grandpa always told me, hey, look at their hands. Their nails is dirty, their feet, toes ugly, they crushed up, and they throwing, you know what I'm saying? They got dirt, they ain't toes, they crunched up, they ain't got no paint on them and all they chipped.
Yeah.
Like that's unattractive to me.
But when she looks at your feet, she's looking at your shoes to see, hey,
that's
does
the
he have
first
money?
thing you're
Does he
gonna
have,
look with.
does he have style?
Same thing. She looking at your feet for your money. See if you clean, you got money. He looking at your feet to see if you clean. He ain't looking at your feet to see if you got money. We ain't looking to see, oh, she got them Christian deals. He looking at your feet, so she got some nice shaped, pretty toes. You know what I'm saying? She got some nice, pretty toes. So, and she got a nice smile.
Work to be done on both sides.
Of course.
Work to be done on both sides.
We can agree. We can agree.
And like you were saying, we love drama. So
we
much
just
of
love
this
it. We
country,
love
it
drama.
revolves around
It's a big reality
drama.
TV show, right?
Big
That's
reality
exactly.
Yeah.
show.
I
Yes.
always tell people this country is like the carnival.
Yeah.
It's like a adult
Mm-hmm,
carnival all over everywhere. You go in, you take your ticket, you go in, you take the rides, you pay to do all the rides, you pay back into the system. The rides keep going because you're paying to keep them going. And you go and you watch the clowns dance around. You watch the Cirque du Soleil people doing all this.
Yeah.
That's literally what this country is like, entertainment-wise at least. One big thing I did want to touch about on the politics, a big thing is I do think that there are a lot of young people who do go into politics, but the thing is it's a family thing. It stays in the family. So if your dad's in politics, you go into politics. If your mom's in politics, you're more likely to go into politics. You stay in that kind of lane. And when not a lot of black people have family in those political spheres, who you think's going to be making the laws, the rules? It's going to be the white people who've been there 3, 4, 6, 10 generations. Right on. All the way back to Abraham Lincoln and everything like that. They're going to stay, and that family value that they've instilled is going to stay. And that racism that stays there, it's going to stay. It's going to keep going into the industry. It's going to keep going into the executive, the judicial, the legislative branches. It's going to stay in those areas. And that's why a lot of times we can feel like this country doesn't change, because it doesn't. We're getting the same people over.
Same bloodline.
And over nepotism, almost like Hollywood, nepotism, Nepo babies.
Yeah.
So, Miss Joy, I got a question for you, because this is one of the debates that's been going on in the man-female community as well. Yeah. In today's world, where we have all agreed now, inflation is high, the cost of living is high. You agree with that? Wait, hold up. Time's out. Wait, time's out. Just wait. Where we agreed, did we all agree? Do we all agree? I just want to make sure, because I don't want to be on a different page. Do we all agree that inflation is high, the cost of living is high, and around the world?
Yes.
So how do you feel about when it's dynamics in relationships now where women are required by a lot of men now to contribute more to the relationship? Because everybody ain't making $150,000 and can take that. We need help too sometimes.
You want my real?
I want your real opinion. We gonna read the camera on you. Hey, zoom in. Y'all see? Zoom in. Let's get this live.
I think for me, my mentality is different, right? So I'm a hustler just by nature. It's in my blood. It's in my DNA. So I don't believe that it's anybody else's responsibility to necessarily take care of me. I've never been the type of woman, and Lord, I'm probably gonna be bashed, but I don't believe that my companionship is responsible for providing a certain type of lifestyle for me. I'm very big on partnership, and I'll say that a lot. Like, the person that you connect yourself with, that you marry, that's your partner in life. I have my journey, you have yours, but we have a common vision for our union, right? So I think that the reality of it is you need to pull your weight. And I mean, that's just, like I said, that's a personal opinion of mine. I do know that, one person is always going to make more than the other, but I think it's unrealistic to believe that the world we live in, you're supposed to be kept. We don't live.
Okay, well, y'all hear this,
ladies
and gentlemen. Y'all hear this. This is a woman of substance and sense. Go ahead, brother. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
You a very difficult question. Mm-hmm. Do you think, in general, it's more important for the man to make more money than the woman, even if you're both balling, even if you're both millionaires? Do you feel like it's more important for the man to make more money than the
Whew.
Whether it's
we're acquiring minds want to know this answer.
Not even talking about you specifically.
We want to know this answer.
Just in general. Okay. I think it's important because we still have a lot of men that are. For me, if I make more money, then I'm gonna want to have a say in my household of what's going on more. Okay,
I agree. Hey,
because
get off that power trip.
Yeah, but in general, you have a lot of men that are still power driven. Yeah, and so it's an ego thing versus looking at it as, once again, we're a partnership, one common goal for this union, and we're both. Hey, we're both the president. It's 50-50. Hey. But you don't you have these men that are like, no, I'm the head, regardless.
I want to hear your answer.
But what's the head? Why can't we both come together and make this work?
So you're saying you're both the president, But I can't think of a single time in history where there've been 2 presidents.
Listen. I want to hear her answer because if Kamala is gonna be the head of a country, and you say there's no time when a woman should be a head, so you answered the question right. Because I was just wanting to say, because I was gonna say, well, then how can Kamala be? Okay, so you know what?
But I think
you gotta modernize.
Yeah, I think
in a fair way
because we don't live in a traditional.
All right, I agree with you.
Yeah.
I agree. You got to be smart. Use your damn brain. We're not in the same world. Is evolving. Women have more power now.
Yeah.
So according back then, the men had the power and they were taking care of the home.
Do we need to redefine marriage?
No. Is there marriage just be what it? I mean, well, go ahead.
I say yeah, because like I said, it's a lot of women that I know. I have friends. They want to be kept. They are looking for somebody to take care of them. And I tell them all the time, listen, no.
It's going to be harder to find that in today's day.
And if you do find somebody that's going to provide for you, then you're living by
their rules
and everything
you
that they believe.
You can't be still getting attitudes because they say don't go out tonight.
Exactly. So for me, I don't look at marriage traditionally. And I do feel that, hey, this is a new century. This is a new time. Women are not staying at home baking pies. We're going to the store. We're getting the tools to get, the pie's already baked. I'm just putting it in the oven, And so I just think that's where we are as a world. And hopefully people begin to allow their minds to get to that place.
Bottom line is you have to evolve nowadays. You got to evolve with the times. Yeah. Women are not the stay-at-home caretakers that they used to be. They have opportunities that they have. But so women got to, women have to, women have to get out of that mindset too, though, and start being aware of their surroundings. You have, just like black people, just like we were saying, hey, you're not in the 1776, your opportunities are more now, so you don't have that excuse of, hey, you got to use what you have now to come out of the hole and do. Same with women now. Back then.
But there are some women that want to be taken care of.
And that's fine.
That want to, stay home and have the 5 and 6 children.
And nothing wrong with that.
And nothing is wrong with that.
You got to find what work. You got to find somebody that's compatible for you.
But for me, no. If I want to build an empire and you want to be able to have more than you've ever had, go further, we gotta run this race together.
Do you remember Real Housewives of Atlanta? I think it was. You probably gonna remember this episode, but you remember, everybody know what's her name? Is it the pretty? I love her. She's so pretty. No, she was married to Kit Cordell Stewart. She was young. Portia.
Oh, Portia. Yeah.
He was saying, if you want to work and this and that, we ain't finna have no baby then. She wanted a baby or something. He was like, nah, And his mind was like, we ain't gonna need to have no kids and stuff if you want to work. You want to work, and I ain't want no kids. So there was a clash where actually the brother was making sense because he was rich, so she didn't have to work. That's what he was saying. Like, you don't have to work, but since you want to work, well then we can do that. That's fine, but we don't need to be trying to have kids. And
but
stuff.
Why not?
Yeah.
Why not?
Because in his mind, the dynamic has changed, and I'm not saying that I wouldn't say the same thing, but all I'm saying, in his mind, the dynamic has changed. I want you to stay home and raise the kid if we got the kid. He was more traditional in that fashion. But if you do want to work, go ahead. Yeah. But if you do that.
But I think that's still that ego driven inside of a man.
And okay, yeah.
Men will always look at women as,
lesser and lead to follow, listen to what I say.
Yeah, and okay, stay home. I make the money, you stay home. But why do I have to stay home?
Hey.
Why you can't? You make the money, why you can't help with the kids?
Right.
I have my thing going, you have your thing going. Both of us give to our child. That means that our kids are not going without.
I'm one who believes if we're both going to work, that's better for the household now. I was making 150, but I had to allocate 50, 60 of it to taking care of his family and these, maybe 80 of it to take care of his kids and his family. Now I make 150, you make 100,000, we make 250, and we're both pouring in.
Exactly.
I believe I'm one of those. I believe in a percentage rule. It ain't fair for us both. Now we both got this house. We both agreed to get this house. But if I'm making 50,000 and you making 100,000, and the mortgage is 1,500, well, you pay 1,000 and I pay 500, because that would be fair.
But then are you gonna also sit back and feel like
it ain't 50-50?
I dictate all the I dictate everything. Okay,
no.
So and I feel like that's where the breakdown happens.
I cook.
Because
I clean.
Okay, there you go.
I wash my own clothes. If a woman didn't do that for me, they ain't gonna deal breaker for me, because I ain't grew up like that. I wasn't raised like that.
Yeah.
I was raised, to do stuff on my own, because you can't always count on somebody. So what are you gonna do when you can't count on someone? That's why I like to learn stuff anything I learn because I don't want my operation being shut down because I own this and I don't know what to do with it. I gotta go call somebody that know how to
And
work
my
this.
thing is, when it comes to like, nothing is wrong with like, being a woman that cooks, cleans, take care of, you can hire a maid for that. What else can you bring to the table? And, I feel like that's what I try to, women around me or women that I'm attached to, be more of substance than just being able to cook and clean.
Right.
Because, you can go to a restaurant, you can hire a maid to come in and cook, you can hire a maid to come in and clean, but what else can you bring to the table in your union besides domestic?
Right.
Things.
Right.
So,
this is a good conversation, and it's just a point of how we all come together and can put our minds together and think about things like this, because at the end of the day, we got to make a change within each other. We got to look at each other and we got to come to an agreement of like, hey, we need to change. I'm talking about the black community.
Yeah.
We have to come together and stop infighting because it's just dividing and conquering if you're infighting. You see what I'm saying? And, that's just part of it, and we won't come up until we can come together. But and we are together, but we still got these little things that stop us from being the best that we can be.
right.
Because we are the best. God forgive me if anybody's insulted, but that's just the case. And so, again, if we come together, we'll be all right, man.
Yeah.
But what is something that you would say if you, let me ask you this, because I've been president already this episode. If you were the president, because I seem a little too extreme sound like.
Yeah, dictatorship.
What would you go through? What would you do?
If I was president?
Yeah. What would you suggest? What would you suggest that you would fix in this world? What are some things we didn't get to you? I told you what I don't like. What are some things that Miss Jewel don't, think is right now?
Prison reform for me is a big one.
Okay. Yeah, definitely.
A lot of laws that come to, things with children that are like in foster care, just, their rights. A lot of kids go through a lot of things and it's because of state laws that are in place. So I think that just like the child welfare system and the prison system would be two big things for me.
Mm-hmm. So that's what you're going to do. You're going to get voted in because you're going to fix the prisons. That's going to get you to vote. That's going to get Miss Jewel elected. Is that, no, I'm asking, no, I'm not, no, that will be one.
I mean,
but is that your main point? That would be one now. No, I'm not downplaying that. That's a good one.
The prison system, it's where a lot of the money is. People don't understand how deep the prison system runs, especially with big companies that we pour our money into. You go to Walmart, you spend your money, they taking that money and putting it back, channeling it back into the prison system. So the prison system goes very deep. It's all the way back to slavery, and we don't talk about it enough. We just think that people go to jail because they do the crime, but that would be something that I would be very anal about. And then just like I said, like our kids, our next generation, the education system, the foster system, and then also I'm just a person that believe that, and like I said, people probably gonna beat me up, but I think that it needs to be a lot of reform when it comes to benefits.
We said that.
Yeah, people getting food stamps.
Hey.
People.
You must have watched that last episode. You had to because you copying my talk. You stealing my talking point, y'all.
Seriously.
I'm the hey, listen, y'all. We debating on stage, but y'all heard me say this first. Nah, I just kidding. Go ahead.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like, I think that when it comes to just like benefits that affect really our community, it makes us stagnated. It makes us lazy, and it takes a lot of responsibility from people that they really need to have.
It handicaps us as a people.
Yeah,
because you have people that are on Section 8 for years. Yeah. I propose. You get 4-5 years term limits on benefits because that's to give you enough time to get you a bachelor's degree.
Yeah.
I don't want to hear about you got these kids so you ain't got time for school. You got to work. We're going to give you 4 or 5 years to get you some kind of trade. Everything don't take 4 or 5 years. You can go get you a welding degree. You can go get you a certification. Udemy. I don't know
Is
if y'all
that for
know.
your lifetime or is that per child?
4 years per child?
I'm saying because like when it comes to the way that you receive benefits per child. So is it saying if I have a child right now and my child,
You're still getting a lump sum of benefits.
so 4 or 5 years for my entire life.
So you're going to have 10. No. You're going to have to pass off. This is going to be rules and regulations. You ain't finna ride the system, man. You know, all this trying to have 5 kids so you can have 20 years. No. No, man. Them kids going to be grown by then. No, man.
Yeah.
You need to, we're pushing our citizens to be great because if you want to make America great again, when was it ever great, first of all?
Yeah, I was just going to say that.
But if you want to make America great, truly great, push your people to work hard like you would treat your own kids.
But I also feel
You don't
like
hand your kids handouts.
that goes, because a lot of people, when you say benefits, people think of our community, which we're not the only race that receives benefits. But I also think that for people that are coming into this country, the things that they're allowed to have access to that a typical U.S. citizen doesn't have, access to. So I think that I would also be very big on there should be laws and time frames for them as well. They come over here and they give them 40 acres and a mule, for them to be successful. So just some policies and changes around that as well.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, again, if you guys know us on this show, we're going to keep it real. And today, I feel like we've kept it very, very real. And we had a real young lady step onto the show and, provide us with, her talking point. And it was very good. And we're appreciative of it. And here on the Real Talk, we had a discussion about, politics. We discussed Mrs. Joy's career and how she was, led to the path that she's on. And we also discussed relationships and whatnot. And, we hope somebody got something out of this. You are a wonderful person.
Thank y'all for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. Can you share where they can find you so they can find you? Can you share that?
Facebook is going to be Choose Joy, and then Instagram and TikTok is the same username, so it's going to be choose underscores Joy 0802.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nice.
One more time for the people in the back because they act like they ignorant. Matter of fact, we're gonna put this up so y'all gonna see. And follow her. And Tyler Perry, hey man, you heard what the young lady said. We all about networking and giving each other a chance, man. So this lady's really involved and does great work, and she's worked really hard to be where she is at this point in her life. And she's continuing to work hard, and she's willing to do everything except for do Illuminati stuff.
Yeah, I ain't selling my soul.
She ain't selling her soul. No. So you trying to get her to go one of these Diddy parties, she ain't in.
Nah.
But if you trying to reward hard work and good character and good quality work, then I guess she wants that's her message to you.
Yeah, let's
go. Prez, you got anything important, man, for us, man, before we roll up out of here, bro? It's been a great episode, G.
Ladies and gentlemen, this has been a lot of fun. This is the Real Talk Podcast. We love that Miss Joy came along and joined us on our celestial racket, managed to give us some of that cosmic choir and was able to spew her wisdom to the whole universe. We need stuff like that. We need people to come in and keep it real on this show, and we can't thank you enough. Blastoff, as always, you're the captain of this ship, and you make it happen, Captain. Everybody else, thank you so much for tuning in. Great episode, like I said. We're going to have our information down here, and don't hesitate to reach out to us. And that's all I really got to say about the subject. This was just a great one. This was a really great one.
Great episode, where we broadcasting live from. We can't tell you because it's a secret. But all we can tell you is we on the red planet on Mars. Y'all go look up. We've been taking pictures and videos. Did y'all know that we discovered that there's an ocean here now? Did you know that? Did you guys know that we discovered that there's an ocean? We did a sonogram. We was able to detect that there's enough water under here that can cover this whole planet for up to a mile in water, in ocean. So hey, keep tuned. Look at and we always got 4K videos that we shot. You know what I'm saying, on YouTube. Go look it up. That's us. We use the camera. We infiltration. That's all we can tell you. We can't tell you where we at because you ain't gonna be able to get here no way. So we don't give a damn. But somebody will try. Somebody. This is billions of people. Somebody might come get us. But anyway, all love. It's all fun and games. But we had a great time.
Yes.
Miss Joy, again, we are very honored to have you, and we were very blessed that you came on the show and blessed us with your presence. And we hope to have you back here.
Thank you. I
And
appreciate it.
be seeing you soon.
Yes.
On the red carpet.
Speak it. Come
Why
on.
did I get married for?
Come on.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Yeah, scrap it. Come on, Tyler.
Yeah.
Come on now. Anyway, we thank y'all for tuning in, man. And once again, we appreciate y'all. We broadcasting live from a secret location on Mars, everybody. We out.